there, my YouTube fam. This is KR Bankston. I'm here to give you another great book review. But before we get started, I need you guys to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so that you can become a part of my YouTube baddie family and always keep up with all the new and exciting things that are happening in KR land. I am definitely striving to be one of your new favorite authors, so I encourage you to visit me over at krbangstonolonline.com. That's www.krbangstonolonline.com. And if you really want to take a leap into the deep end of the pool, come on over and join the Patreon family at www.patreon.com/krbankston. All right, let's get right into it. This week, I want to tell you about a find called the Freestyle Cypher. Yeah, this is a collection of 9 great stories. And normally you would hear something like an anthology or a compilation or something like that. I love that they chose to call this a cipher. It is exciting and I really do like it. This is the brainchild of Ebony Evans. And I know you guys, I did her book review called Dead to Me. That's the name of her book. I did that a little while back. You can still find it on my page. Go and check that out. But this is Ebony's baby from her group, EyeCU Reading Social Club Book Club. And if you go on Facebook and you pull them up, it is EYE, capital C, capital U. The rest will pop up for you. And go join them. They're a great group, very lively, always having plenty of great discussions and things like that. It's ladies and gentlemen, so it's not just one sided. And it's really exciting. I like going over there. I love what they do. But this project came from something they like to call Freestyle Friday. Freestyle Friday is where there is a montage of pictures posted and invited authors. It's usually like 4 or 5, I think, are invited to write according to what those pictures are, write a story crafted around the pictures and stuff like that. And it's been some great stuff coming out of it. I was actually participating in it not long ago, and I really enjoyed it. I've read some great stories coming out of it. And of course, this collection, there are some great stories in here. So without further ado, let's kind of go ahead and get into it. I first want to give you guys, of course, the trigger warnings. This book is not for kids. There's adult language, situations, sex, sexual situations, violence, some graphic. So definitely it's not for children. So I would suggest you read this without the kiddies. So kicking us off is our first story called Till Death Do Us Part. And it is by Miss Nadia Nicole. As you can see, I have a little graphic up there for you. This story is Asia and Jason. They're a married couple. And in my estimation, they had issues because there was very poor communication between the two of them. Instead of talking to each other, they spent a lot of time in their head, thinking that they knew what the other one was thinking or saying or doing or whatever. Of course, that brings about drama because, assumptions turn into problems. And that's what happened with Asia and Jason. I think I'm saying it right. It's spelled Aysia, so I'm thinking it's Asia. But yes, that's what happened with them, and it culminated in an explosion of catastrophe. And it just, yeah, it didn't have to go there in my estimation. And really, it makes you beg the question, how would I have reacted? Would I have done the same thing? Would I have put up with the same thing? Who was right? Who was wrong? And if I had to pick a favorite out of that group, I kind of, I don't know. I didn't really find myself endeared to either one, but I'm going to have to give a little bit of a nod, I guess, more so to Asia than to Jason. So definitely a great read. The story was well developed. The characters were very descriptive and well developed. Good plot storyline. You will definitely enjoy it. So to start us off, it kicked the cipher off very well. It was a great story. And honestly, there isn't a story in this collection that you're going to skip. I promise you, not one. So next up, we have Big Red Flag by Kenya Moss Dime. And we come into the story meeting Meryl and Devlin. Devlin is an abusive husband. He's just not a good guy all the way around. So we get through their drama and then we flash forward a few years and we meet their son, Theo, who is an adult by this time, and he has a girlfriend named Bianca. She's totally enamored with him, in love with him. He in love with her. They're supposed to be getting married, all this kind of good stuff. Well, Bianca has a friend named Sam who just doesn't seem to, really warm up to Theo. There are alarm bells going off for her, big red flags, if you will, going off for her. And she tries to tell Bianca, but Bianca's not listening. So they go out to Theo's home to meet his mom and his sister. Um, and the mom and Theo have a very intricate relationship. It's very strange. The sister, she's kind of standoffish, whatever. But how things come about, what culminates, will really take you for a loop, because while you think you may know where it's going and what's going to happen, when the proverbial shit hits the fan, you're like, okay, did not see that coming at all. So that one definitely was a surprise all the way around. Um, Great story though, and it really held my attention, did not let go. Like I said, it did give me that jaw dropping experience at the end when I was saying, okay, wow, did not see that coming. So definitely, again, first two stories were out the gate. We're on it. And this book is popping. This Cypher is really going through. So I read through those two and I get over to the next one. Say My Name by Miss Olivia Renee Wallace. So we got your girl Angel, aka Mouse. She has a coworker. His name is D'Angelo, and they're cool. They're friends. D'Angelo has this girlfriend named Carmen. Well, Carmen don't like Angel, Mouse, and Angel don't like Carmen. Well, you know how that goes. So, um, this one, there's a party. D'Angelo kind of dares Mouse to come, and Mouse shows up. And all I'm going to say is, like the old people say, be careful what you wish for because you may get it. Yeah, so this one definitely made me smile. It made me kind of laugh. And my favorite character in this one had to be Angel. I did like her. I liked her entire persona. I liked her personality. You know what they say about onions and layers. If you keep peeling, you might end up crying. So all I'm going to say is you're definitely going to enjoy this one. Great job, Miss Olivia. Well written, well thought out. It was a great, great story. Um, Next up is Who Is She to You? And this is by Miss Lysandra Moore. And it was good. It was really good. This is one of my favorites. Steve and Brooklyn, they're a couple. Brooklyn is a professional singer, and she has a bodyguard. His name is Harrison. So she and Steve, they are like any other couple. There's mess, there's drama, there are angles, there are lies, there are, just things that unfortunately happen sometimes. And um, Brooklyn has to make some hard choices and some hard decisions, and she, is in her head a lot, trying to figure things out, and it really is a mess. I will say my favorite character in this story is Harrison, the bodyguard. And once you read it, you'll understand exactly why he's my favorite character. But he is the one that made the most lasting impression on me. I liked him. He's one of those guys you kind of want to just take home. He was really good people, and it was a really excellent story, well told, well put together, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, Brooklyn made me want to push her down a hill a couple of times, but other than that, I didn't dislike her. Steve, on the other hand, I immediately disliked. But again, read the story. It is great. And I promise you, it's not going where you think. That's the cool thing about all these stories that I read. They never ended up in a typical place. It never ended with, oh, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. No, they all kind of left me with, okay, didn't see that angle. But again, they make you think. And that's the cool thing about these stories. What if it was you? What if it was somebody you knew? How would you handle it? How would things work out for you? So great story. Who is she to you? And now we're up to March for Life. And that one is by Kaylin Hunt. So Kamaya and Cameo, they're a married couple. Kamaya has a sister named Nadine, and I laugh because Nadine is worrisome. She always needs something. She always wants something. Just, ooh, child, one of them folk. So then you have Jupiter, who is Cameo's, I ain't gonna say girlfriend because I don't think they actually ever had a relationship. They just kind of had sex with each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like in between his relationships, during his relationships. Yeah, so that all kind of stopped when he married Kamaya. But Jupiter can't seem to take a hint. Then, if that's not messy enough, we got Ray. Ray is Cameo's best friend, that person that knows where all the bodies are buried, where the skeletons are, all that kind of good stuff. So it causes a whole lot of chaos and drama when all these different pieces collide. But again, it is not what you're thinking. It is not the typical what you might think would happen when you have a wife with a wandering husband and a old girlfriend jump off whatever she is that can't take a hint. I promise you, you will not see this coming because I'm gonna be honest. Miss Kaylin messed me up in this when I got to a certain part in this story, and I just threw the phone down because I was like, I know you lying. I know you are. But I promise you, it is a great story. It really is. It's really good. I enjoyed it. This was one of my favorites in the collection. I still chuckle to myself thinking about it and how that element of surprise came in. Fantastic job, Miss Kaylin. I fully enjoyed it, and I know the readers will as well. Big Girls Don't Cry. Big Girls Don't Cry. Miss Fatima Monroe got us with this one. So here we have the story of Miss Kira. Kira is a gold digger and she a hood rat. But baby, she has met her match in Martha. Because Martha is the mother-in-law from hell. Fatima, I'm sorry. Fatima did. She did a great job weaving this in. That's what I was going to say. She did a great job of weaving this in because I mean I was in. I'll be honest with you. From the get go, I was like, Kira, really, girl, really. At first, I didn't like Martha when I was reading it, but as I kept reading, it, I was like, oh, okay, I see what's up, girl. You a gold digger, so yeah, I liked Jackson. Jackson is Kira's husband. Jackson dies. So that makes Kira a widow. And the reason her and Martha always clash is because Martha is not going to let her just run through her son's money like that. I will say, keep reading it because Kira, of course, wants free reign. She wants to get that bank card in her hand. She wants all the money. She don't want that little allowance that Martha keep doling out. So, shenanigans will commence. And gold diggers and hood rats, they gonna figure out how to do what they need to do. So, is Martha gonna be a match, or is Kira gonna get what she need? I tell you what, go read it and find out. My favorite person in this story was absolutely Jackson. I loved him. So there's that. Another super read, another really, really well put together, well thought out story. Big Girls Dry. Now we have Tale and Betrayal of the In-Laws, and I hope I am saying this right. If I'm not, please forgive me and know then charge it to my head and not my heart. Tale and Betrayal of the In-Laws by Diashanta. I'm thinking that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. But let's talk about this story. This story made me laugh, y'all. It made me laugh so hard. And I don't think it was supposed to be funny. I don't think it's supposed to be a comedy. But because I have such a warped sense of humor, I cracked up. So the story is about Justin and Larissa. They're a married couple. They're very social. They're high up on the social ladder. They do a lot of entertaining, and they all hang out together. Them, their parents, and Larissa's parents, Charlotte and Charles, and Justin's parents, Justin Sr. and Judith. They all hang out with them when they have parties or entertain or whatever. So they threw a dinner party and invited, of course, their friends, their mom, their dad, the in-laws, everybody came. We're all sitting at the table enjoying, and it comes time for the toast. Baby, that's where it all went wrong. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. All I can tell you is that it's going to be the dinner party to remember. You heard me? That is the dinner party to remember. And like I said, to me, it was hilarious. I don't know if she meant it to be, but I was cracking up. I would be really curious how most people take it when they read it. So I am going to say Definitely go into it with an open mind and enjoy. It was a great story. Again, another winner, another top notch entry into this cipher. Great. Tale and Betrayal of the In-Laws. Yeah, it was great. It definitely made me chuckle. And I'm not gonna lie, everybody in this story kind of was my favorite because they all, yeah, I loved it. Just read it. That's all I can tell you. Just read it. All right, so now we have The Accusation by Pamesh. Um, Janelle, Janelle is super rough around the edge. It's so rough that she'll cut you if you get too close to her. Oh, she's a CNA, so you already know she's underpaid and overworked. She has an attitude and a massive chip and or boulder on her shoulder. So she's in trouble for something that she's being accused of doing to a patient, which could cost her her job. Desiree, her boss, is trying to be diplomatic and talk to her or whatever. Kaylin, which is the nurse representative for the union, she's there trying to have Janelle's back. Well, baby, Janelle's not hearing any of it. And she done gave everybody what for, read them from Amazing Grace to A Floating Opportunity. So, yeah, she leaves for the day. She heads home to where her boyfriend, Derivan, is. Let me just say, the boyfriend, if you couldn't have picked a worse person, was a person, he'd be it. So yeah, the day just goes from bad to worse is all I can say. It is of nightmarish proportions, and she reacted. That's the best I can describe it. And there's this again is another one of those. What would you do? What would you have done differently? Could this be you? That kind of thing. But amazingly well told story. I enjoyed it. I really did not have a like or dislike of anybody. Now, I didn't, I'm gonna be honest with you, Janelle, while I sort of understood her, I didn't care for her. And that's not to say she was a terrible person. I just couldn't find any empathy for her, put it that way. So that's the part right there. I could not find the empathy for her in that situation. But again, the accusation, amazing. Great story. And last but certainly not least at all, not safe for work. And baby, the title says it all. It is absolutely not safe for work. So we're going to meet Devlin Sanchez and his brother Richard, who are absolutely more than they seem. They have a strained relationship because of Richard's wife, Latasha. Richard works for his father in law's company because his wife's brother, Reed, is a complete moron. And if they let him run the company, it would probably shut down tomorrow. So the dad asked Richard to step in and run the company. Well, okay, good. We know that Latasha's very plastic. She's had surgery on everything. Everything she got bought and paid for. Okay, cool. Devlin and Richard are having the time of their lives laughing about the new temp, Danica. Why are they laughing at poor Danica? Because she comes in looking like she just came off the prairie. Girl has the high collar, the long sleeves, the long skirt, and you're not seeing no flesh on sis, none. So she covered from head to toe. Um, she's broken everything in the company in the short time that she's been there. She's broken copiers, computers, staplers, just you name it, technology, the copy machine. She's broken everything. So Devlin's like, she's gonna bankrupt your company if you keep her here. And Richard's like, she's fine. She does her job, whatever, whatever. But see, Richard's been paying a lot more attention than Devlin has because Richard has been watching her and knows that underneath all that Little House on the Prairie outfit, girlfriend got a body to kill for. So there's that. And then, things aren't always what they seem. Yeah, so I will say that this story was steamy. It was good though. Yeah, it was. Miss Sylvia Hubbard, she did that thing. Yes, she did. That's all I'm gonna tell you about this story. Because again, like I told you, no spoilers. I want you to get this cipher and read it from cover to cover. It is great. It is fantastic. I loved it. And I'm gonna put this out here in the atmosphere right now. I'm waiting on the freestyle cipher part two. Because I know there are some more great stories because I've read some of the other Freestyle Fridays in the group. So I know there's some other great stuff to come, but kudos to all these amazing authors. Kudos to Miss Ebony Evans for putting this together. Kudos to you, Miss Kaylin, for being an integral part of this. And everybody, I celebrate you. I give you 5 stars across the board on all these stories and the collective together. And I hope you guys will actually go to Amazon and pick it up. The link is below the video. So please go and get this and support. I promise you will not be disappointed. And again, if you haven't by now, hit the subscribe button and the like button because I want you to hang around. And remember, if you give me the opportunity, bet I can make you love a bad guy. Have a great one.